Hi, this is Doug, the Yankee Redneck. I'm going to do a little arrow maintenance and repair today. So we'll explain what we have and we'll get started. One arrow here has some clearance issues, so it's curled the fletchings a little bit. So it's either hitting the rest or cables or something that's leaving these marks and damaging the fletchings. This one, not so bad, but for the sake of the video, we will remove these older fletchings and put new ones on, just to show you the difference we have. We have two different jigs we'll be using today. This one puts the fletchings on straight. It's a clamp, glue it on, sticks with the magnet. This is a portable jig that does a right helical. I just leave an old piece of arrow in to keep everything aligned when it's not in use. Here we have an assortment of blazer vanes that I use. I condense them into one package with the American flag, some pink, and some white. You can glue these on. This is a quick fletch that could be used. I'm just showing you these. We're not going to use these today. These you shrink wrap on with hot water. Very fast. Costs more money to do it that way, but it's quick and easy if you need your arrow in a hurry. This one is also a quick one that you can put on. They come in a 3-pack. They work well, but it's more expensive than doing it the old-fashioned way. There are many different glues. This one here is the Fletch Tight Platinum. Works very well. Before we get started, we have to remove the older fletchings. You can buy a tool for that, or you can use a sharp knife. I have a little buck knife and a Leatherman. Either one will suffice. And we'll take the fletching and the old glue off, and then we'll use some acetone to clean it. You want it nice and clean before you start because you want the glue to adhere to a nice clean surface. Well, this arrow now, the fletchings have been removed and we've cleaned it with the acetone, so it's ready for its new fletchings. To begin with, we'll put the arrow in the jig. The nock lines up in here and allows us to start on the number 1 fletching, which will be the cock fletching. That will be a different one than the other two. That way when you put your arrow in your bow, you put it in the correct way each time. I've indexed on this clamp a couple different settings. We're going to use the one further to the rear. So we'll place this fletching to the index more to the rear. Now we'll apply the Fletch Tight. I'll place this right on, and we'll give it 30 seconds. This clip is held on by a magnet, and it'll put the fletchings in the same place every time. So when 30 seconds is expired, we'll take the clip off and we'll rotate this around 1 click and then do the next fletching. Okay, now it's ready to remove. We're going to rotate it counterclockwise so the fletching won't hit the magnet. Now we'll start the process once more. We'll use that same index mark. Nice even amount of glue. You place it firmly against the arrow shaft. Then you can release it and give it another 30 seconds. And then we'll take the clip off one more time, rotate it one more time, and apply the third and final fletching. The fletchings that we are using today are the Bohning 2-inch blazer vanes. Those are my favorites. There's fletchings you can get in 3 and 4-inch lengths also. My preference is the 2-inch blazers. Now we'll remove the clip off the second one. Rotate it one more time, counterclockwise, until it hit the click. With this jig, the fletchings are in a straight line with the arrow. With this jig that we'll be using on the next arrow, it puts them at a right helical. So it'll start here and sweep to the right. That will give the arrow a spin in flight. And the spin should give it a more accurate flight. So now we remove the clamp. Remove the arrow. So now we have completed our first arrow. All it needs to do is cure. For this arrow, we'll use a opposite color combination. We use the pink for the cock fletching or vane, and we'll put that in the jig first. The cock fletching is to index it on your bow the same way every time, and the way your arrow is knocked to your cock feather. If you're using a traditional bow, a recurve or a long bow, you're going to want the cock feather away from the bow so it doesn't hit the riser on the way past it. If you have a compound bow, depending on which rest you use, you'd index the cock feather away from the rest so it doesn't hit it. Now that we have the 3 vanes in place in the jig, get the glue out. Now I'm indexing the fletching with the knock on my arrow, so it lines up with the string, and the fletching will line up together when placed in the bow. Now that I've closed it, I'll put the cap on, then unlock it. Now in 30 seconds, we'll have a nicely new fletched arrow. We'll push up this base. You can see this. We'll go up and we'll turn it to the right and lock it in position. Now we'll remove the cap. Open the arms. Now this arrow is complete, and we'll let the glue cure for 2 days before we shoot it, and it's ready to go. Now we've used this jig that does 1 fletching at a time, and this jig that does all 3 at once. There are other jigs that you can do as many as 6 arrows at one time. So depending on which jig you buy and which one you prefer to use, there's many options you have. And these are just 2 of many, and these are the 2 arrows in their completed form, and 2 days from now they'll be ready to shoot. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.